Hey guys, welcome back. DripCoach here with Drip and Farm Poor Poverty, where we don't trust, we verify, and operate with integrity and transparency. Let's dive in. So we got Uncle Mike back on screen, where he's talking about additional investors that will actually skyrocket Bitcoin to $1 million. This is brought to us by Savvy Finance. I like to use their videos and stuff because they collect it from various sources and put together the information, so you don't have to go out scouring for what podcast Michael was on. But he doesn't actually mention the $1 million mark, but he does mention bigger investors than BlackRock that I didn't even think about. And this is actually quite huge. And we don't know who that will be yet, but let's play this clip and then speculate a bit.
Let's say Japan issues $1 billion. Let's say Japan issues $1 billion of yen, buys $1 billion of Bitcoin. Bitcoin, if they're smart, they would issue $20 billion of yen, buy $20 billion of Bitcoin. When they put out the press release, Bitcoin would triple. They would have $60 billion of treasury assets appreciating at 30% a year, and they would end up with a $20 billion positive balance of payments, right? And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. This last week, you saw Block.
Gotta break this up into the next clip as well, so you got a taste. He's talking about countries basically using it to back their currency.
Take my advice, but the answer is the first country that can print currency and buy Bitcoin wins. A mid-sized country could probably do it, but you'd have to be aggressive. If we come back to a company, a company stock is just like a country's currency. Right? The country can issue currency. By the way, the reason El Salvador isn't quite synonymous is El Salvador doesn't have their own currency. So what I said, the first country to print their own currency and buy Bitcoin wins. You need to be able to issue $10 billion of your currency, swap it for $10 billion of Bitcoin, grow the Bitcoin 30% a year. And that's the way a treasury reserve asset's supposed to work, right? Because everybody then stampedes into that with you. MicroStrategy had a $600 million enterprise value.
And that's the way it worked when we were backed by gold. And that's why there was a big gold rush. The US was backing their currency in gold, and then everybody flooded into gold, like Michael said, and everybody was trying to accumulate more and more gold. And other countries did exactly that. So the question is Bitcoin the new digital gold, as they say? And now that we have the ETFs underway, and in this video he said there's 22, so there's other ones now besides the initial ones that got launched earlier this year. And the question is now, which countries will jump into this? And one clip that they were talking about was Block. You remember Jack Dorsey, head of Square, was originally with Twitter, then sold it to Elon, and now he's talking about what Block has done, and basically using 10% of their monthly gross profits to keep Bitcoin on the balance sheet. So more and more .com or tech companies, so to speak, are putting Bitcoin on the balance sheet, and these people are just putting it there and holding it, just like Michael Saylor's doing. So that means there's less and less Bitcoin to be traded. So with more and more money coming in and less of it Bitcoin being traded, it just kind of pushes the needle towards exponential growth. And I was looking at the top 20 strongest currencies in 2023. So any of these currencies or countries that print their own currency, as Michael said, it could be anyone besides this as well, but basically a country that prints its own currency, once it decides to take that fake money, so to speak, and put it into sound money, then it's going to be a rush for other countries to do exactly the same thing. Like, think of that snowball effect. And like Michael said, nobody's going to take his advice on it. And we know that there's much more politics involved, keeping the rich in power. So it's not going to probably be like your big countries like China, US, Europe, or anything like that, but somebody else maybe on this list that is independent and has some reserves and can stand on its own feet, so to speak, like Kuwait, Middle East. Who knows? I'm not sure what that would take, but man, oh man, would that be a catalyst like we've never seen before. So all this really boils down to is, are you stacking sats? Because right now we are lucky. It hasn't up yet. There we go. So right now Bitcoin is is and has been trading pretty much sideways. You know, I mean, even though we got the 75K, but this year, oh, well, we can't get year to date on this. Either way, you get my point. Where were we at earlier this year? Yeah, 44. So I don't think we'll see these prices again. I'm by no means a TA guru, but the point of this is that there's never a bad time to stack sats, because like I showed you, big companies like MicroStrategy, like Block, and countries like El Salvador, and ETFs like BlackRock and the other 21 that are out there are accumulating Bitcoin. All of those people, those that I just mentioned, their goal is to accumulate more and more of it to, in the case of a company, back the company assets and the stability of that company's growth. And in terms of a country, is to enable the currency to not be devalued as much. So they're not selling. They will continue to accumulate, and they have an infinite pool of resources to accumulate from. Companies can go get interest-free loans, and countries can print more money. So we are still early because none of this has taken place. But the minute, like this says, forget BlackRock, these new investors will take Bitcoin straight to $1 million. The minute one of these countries, regardless of the size, like he said, has to be at least like a mid-size, but the minute somebody does that, then it's going to be a snowball effect. The same way when MicroStrategy was the first company, man, that's confused to go back and forth, company to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet, and then it just snowballed after that. So you do not want to miss this train. And shouts out to the 162 of you so far that have created wallets out here. And we just passed the 1 Bitcoin mark for deposits. So as a company, kind of this platform is, in a way, that was a fair launch, and it now has a product and service out there and has accumulated about $60,000 in revenue, you know, money just transacting throughout the ecosystem, just in deposits, in about a month and a half. That is not bad as a Kickstarter. But this is definitely, in my opinion, one of the better ways to stack sats. And again, not financial advice, but it is a easy way to accumulate Bitcoin at a discount, when you know the difference of accumulating this is that it will price appreciate versus, I'm disconnected again. There we go. So back up. So yeah, accumulating this, it's not going to be like accumulating other shit tokens and shit coins that we did in the previous cycle. This, like I showed you guys, has the backing of, you know, everyone. Now that is being given the green light, it's a commodity, not a security, and nation states, countries, companies are adopting it. You don't have to worry about ever buying at a bad time, as long as you have a long-term thesis on it. And it accumulates, you know, every 4 years due to the massive money printing from these other countries, mainly us in the US. So there's never a bad time to stack sats. And the best time is now. The absolute very best time was, like, you know, yesterday, a year ago, 4 years ago, 10 years ago. So I would just ignore the noise and focus on BTC accumulation, and definitely take a look at this platform. If you're not familiar, go to drip2btc.com and create a wallet. Doesn't require any kind of KYC or anything, just an email, and you can get started. Apologies, don't know if you guys could hear that, but I'm actually on vacation at the moment, so that was a announcement from the cruise director. I'll try to put a video together later. But it has been super windy to try to record one out on the deck, and then everywhere else there's hustle and bustle and other distractions and noise. But anyway, come out to drip2btc.com, create a wallet, no KYC required, email only, and make your deposit, and then start stacking sats. And based off the video that I released previously, you should have a strategy that will help you decide what path to choose, which is primarily based off of how quickly you want to accumulate more sats, as well as what your amount is that you are willing to risk or allocate. So keep that in mind and play it accordingly. This is the admin wallet, so I'll probably buy some additional credits with this wallet as well, trying to get this balance up a little higher. But right now, shout out to Elon Musk Starlink, because that's what they use out here. The connection keeps kicking on and off. I hate it. So that's another reason why I haven't done a video. But anyway, you get the gist of what I'm getting at. Thanks to Uncle Mike. Focus on BTC accumulation, and I think we all will feel much better at the end of this cycle. All right, smash that HPO special, help brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below, and until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya. Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? SPRITZ Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.